y'all, it is Celine, and I want to take you on a tour of my flower garden, my flower beds, I should say. So it is Memorial Day weekend, and I have been doing garden updates a bit on my channel. I'm going to do I was going to do a garden tour, and in the back my whole house generator is running a test run, and so I thought while it's doing that and finishing up, I will just come in the front yard and show you what I've got going on here. So I'm going to turn you around. First of all, before I do that, let me just kind of fill you in. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Celine. I am 64 and I am a somewhat solo rural town homesteader. When I say solo, I am married. My husband is incredibly supportive of me and my homesteading and all the things that I do. I mean, he finances everything, God love him. And, you know, the really heavy stuff like building flower beds and loading and unloading dirt and things like that, he helps me with all of that. He built all my beds. I didn't build them. But as far as the dirt and stuff, I mean, the first time I filled them up, we brought loads of dirt in, and we all worked on filling up the beds, grandkids and all. So I have help on the heavy stuff, on the heavy lifting, but that's about it. Like, he's going to put more fence around stuff and things like that for me, which I can't do. But everything else is my baby. I handle all of the gardening, all of the weeding, all of the harvesting, all of the preserving. I mean, there's just really, that's it. He does the heavy lifting. I do everything else. And I love that. I'm okay. He still works. I've been retired for 17 years. So anyway, that's who I am. I homestead on, well, let me turn you around here. I homestead on 1/4 of an acre. Like, here is the corner, and that little deer back there, that is on my property line. So it's really a very narrow lot, and it's very shady over here, and it's very shady up front. So all I can really grow here are a few shade tolerant flowers. I suppose I could do other things, but my flower beds are full. These come back year after year. These are wild geraniums that my mother pulled from the woods. And speaking of woods, I don't know if you can see, 1 block down, that's woods. In between those 2 houses, that's woods. That's the edge of town. I'm literally on the outskirts of town, surrounded by woods and farmland. My little town is only 750 people. So this came from the woods, and I don't remember what this bush is called, but I know I see them everywhere. You guys probably know what they are. And then these are wild violets. And of course my roses, which don't bloom beautifully here. I need to move that bush because it just doesn't get enough sun. And columbines. These are lily of the valley, and they came from the woods as well. They're all done blooming now. They're early spring. I love my impatiens. This is my front porch. I am an impatiens lover, as you can see, and I have a lot of them all over the place because they bloom from early spring till first frost. Okay, so here is one of my lemon balm plants, and I use those medicinally and just because they smell and taste lovely in tea. And then I love my dianthus. Dianthus bloom quite a while as long as you keep them deadheaded. The reason you deadhead flowers is because it triggers a response in the plant. The whole purpose of a plant, their sole purpose, is to make more plants. To go to flower, go to seed, and make more plants. Once they flower, go to seed, they're done. So if you keep everything deadheaded, it triggers, it signals the plant, uh-oh, we need more flowers to make more seeds, because those went by the wayside. So those weren't there long enough to dry up and do what it's supposed to do. So they make more flowers. So that's why you deadhead. Anyway, this little guy here is a passion flower. And again, it's a little shady here, so it takes off, but not like crazy. I'll show you one in the back in the garden tour that does. I have some lemon thyme here, some hostas, and then another rose bush that does pretty well. It gets a lot more sun here, and just a variety of perennials. I am a perennial girl. I would rather not have to do new flowers every year, except for mostly my impatiens. I do love my impatiens. There are more hostas, and I have that's a kind of a clematis. It blooms in the early fall, little tiny clusters of white flowers, and it's absolutely stunning. And let me take you over here. It's Memorial Day weekend, so there's lots of people here. So we normally don't have a used car lot in our front yard. And then here we have another rose bush and more. I just lost the name of those flowers. What the heck are they called? I'll think of it, and I'll put it on the screen. But they're also perennials, and I love these. I have those all over my garden. And here's some that I hadn't deadheaded, and you see they quit blooming, so I had to deadhead them so they'd start blooming again. And then I have tulips and lilies and things like that. This is what my mom always called, we bought this house from my mom going on 25, 26 years ago. And so a lot of these things were already here. That was already here. She calls that a money tree or a silver dollar tree. And when it blooms, they're like these little paper coins looking things. So, yeah, so that's that one. And my little gnomes, I have never been a gnome person, but my mother-in-law was a gnome person. Every time she would come to visit, she would bring me a gnome, and she's passed now, so we are loving our gnomes. But anyway, that is basically, you can see my yard needs a haircut, but that basically is my front flowers. Oh, one more. Excuse again the used car lot. My daughter's family is here, and they're having a big deal. So here is another one. It's kind of a wild mess. My daughter lives here in this little apartment for now, and they're leaving this fall. So I'm going to take back over my flower beds here, but this one goes crazy every year. We have to cut it way down every year. A purple clematis back there. This is what is called a pink lemonade honeysuckle, and those are all weeds and trees that need to go, but again, I'll deal with that later. That was an azalea that's just totally done blooming, and I think he needs some acidic, so I'm going to put some sulfur around him, but man did he bloom this year. And this is bee balm, which has not bloomed yet. Those down there are yarrow right there. They're just beginning to bloom. They're looking wilty, but we've had a lot of rain. And same here with this yarrow. Bunch of irises. My purple clematis did not come back this year. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe it got drowned out by the irises. So here are more of those flowers. I cannot come up with the name. Doggone it. But as you can see, I love them, and it's because they just bloom profusely. And I need to deadhead these babies. If you don't know what deadheading is, I'll show you real quick. You just come in here to where the dead flowers are, and you just pop them off. You just get rid of them. And again, more impatiens. And these are my echinacea. I use those medicinally as well. And this has a huge, and the roots are all tied up into these flowers. But there's another one back there too that I'm gonna have to get in there, but I can't get the dandelions out because the roots are all intertwined. But anyway, those are my flower gardens, and I'm gonna cut this now so that it's not too long, and look for my garden tour, my vegetable garden tour. I'm really excited about how it's going. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you coming with me. Look at that beautiful sky. It's going to be 75 today. It's been so cold, so wet, so windy, so stormy that this is just a glorious day. So anyway, Celine signing off. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I do everything from gardening to all the preserving, fermenting, canning, freeze drying, dehydrating, cooking from the pantry, cooking from scratch, sourdough, everything you can think of that's homesteady, kind of country kitchen. You'll find that here. So please subscribe if you're interested in things like that. Please share this video and like it, give it a thumbs up, so that the YouTube algorithm will take notice. And I'm trying desperately to grow my channel, and that will help me. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless you. Mwah.